finally realized that this channel has always been about something bigger than, the videos that I've been posting. What surprised me was when I went back and read the description for this channel, that's when it hit me. When I reread it, I realized that I had lost sight of the big picture of things. And that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. So when I first started Freedom After Service, I just wanted it to be a way of me capturing, rebuilding my life after the military. After serving 21 years in the military, all the structure, the schedules, the sacrifice, I just wanted to show how I was living a life of freedom, because that was so very important to me. And the thing is, when you hear about people that's in the military and they transition out, a lot of times you hear about the struggles, right? Like the not getting our benefits, PTSD, and all of those things are so very important. And I have my own, that I'll share as well. But I wanted to look at it from a different angle, right? The success of, what does a successful transition look like? What does a successful life outside of the military look like? And that's what I wanted this channel to be about. Because it reminded me too, when I wrote my dissertation, I looked at the transition experiences, that what made it a success for veterans. So I'm like, instead of looking at the challenges, and that's how I approached this channel, I wanted to show me rebuilding my life after the military, the freedom of life of freedom. So that's what the channel was supposed to be about. But what happened was, along the way, I lost sight of that. When I started learning what it takes to create a YouTube channel, looking at all the how-to channels, how to start YouTube, I actually enrolled into, a course about, creating YouTube over 40, and it was a great course. It's a very good course. I'll drop it in the comments. But what I learned throughout that process was, niche down. You have to have a niche. You have to focus on something. So during that season of my life, what I was focusing on was my travel freedom, and that came about via cruising, right? I love to cruise, and particularly how I fell in love with solo cruising. So that's really what I started sharing at the time. All of my cruise journals, cruise videos, whether it was what the room looked like, the ships looked like, all of that. And I'm not saying that is wrong. It is not wrong. It was right for me during that season. But like I said, by niching down like that, it helped. That is why I lost sight of the bigger picture of things, of what I wanted this channel to look like. Right? But I have since learned, continuing, a year later or doing this thing, right, on YouTube, I have since learned, and it's more here recently, is that, my life is the niche. I'm the niche, right? My stories or my experiences that I choose to share with you, or those that choose to follow me, I can do that, right? It doesn't have to follow what everybody else is doing. And that's basically what I'm going to be doing going forward. Not to say that, oh, she's not going to create any more cruising videos. Oh no, that's definitely not the case, because like I said, I love to cruise, but it's bigger than that, right? It's bigger than cruising. It's really about the freedom, as I said, freedom after service, right? The life of freedom that I'm building. As a self-proclaimed money nerd, of course on this channel, you're going to hear about finances, especially this journey that I'm about to go on, and I'll share that with you later. But you're going to hear everything about financial freedom, but you're going to also hear about my faith walk, right? What I'm discovering about stewardship. What does it look like to be a single mother of a special needs adult? You're going to hear about all of those things, because that's my life after the military. So I hope that, something that I said, if you choose to follow along with me on this journey, I invite you to. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and just I don't know, I don't want to say reintroduce the channel, but just to really get back to what this channel was all about. It was about freedom after service, and that isn't just about cruising. So I'm not going to delete my cruise videos. You can still find them, but it's really bigger than that, and that's what I'm going to be looking for. That's what I'm going to be documenting going forward. So yeah, I just want to know, and please share it in the comments. Have you ever got so focused on something in your life that you just, you just lost sight of everything else? You was like laser focused. If that's you, I'd love to hear about it. And once again, welcome to Freedom After Service. I'll holler at you next time.